like colon cancer. We're seeing young kids getting cancer now. Not the typical kid cancers like leukemia, but like adult, grown-up cancers.
And is the root cause of that our food?
100%. Type 2 diabetes. When I went to medical school, Louis, which I'm ancient, but not that old, right? I'm going to be 65 next month. There was nothing that was called type 2 diabetes. It was called adult onset and juvenile onset. Juvenile onset is basically an autoimmune disease requiring insulin. Type 2 diabetes is a lifestyle disease because of too much sugar. Now they threw out those terms because kids as young as 2 or 3 years old are getting type 2 diabetes. Kids as young as 15 are needing liver transplants from drinking soda.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a big problem. We're seeing autoimmune diseases, 100% increase in autoimmune diseases. We're seeing 100% increases in mental illness. Right?
What illness?
Mental illness, depression, anxiety, especially in kids. 20% of kids have some type of mental illness, autism, ADD, depression, anxiety. We've seen the rates of autism go up 1,000%. We've seen digestive issues go up doubling to 100% increase. So we've seen dementia go up 150%. And we're spending more and more money. And we're getting worse and worse and worse. And we're spending more and more on drugs. That's even the other thing that's sort of shocking to me.
How much are we spending on drugs a year?
It's collectively, I haven't done the math, but just for example, just statins alone is almost a $40 billion a year industry. That's the number one selling class of drugs. But if you look at the drugs that are sold, it's the lifestyle drugs we're selling. Heart disease prevention like statins, acid blocking drugs, mental health drugs, which are often lifestyle related. Now we understand there's a whole role of nutritional psychiatry, metabolic psychiatry, you had Casey Means on the show, but she talks about brain energy, but Christopher Palmer, who's a psychiatrist, talks about brain energy, how the loss of metabolic health in the brain causes psychiatric illnesses, everything from depression to bipolar disease to schizophrenia to autism. So these are things
and brain health is affected by what we eat also, right?
100%. 100%. The brain is says a famous saying in medicine, psychiatrists pay no attention to the brain and neurologists pay no attention to the mind, right? And so they're connected. And often the mind doesn't work because the brain's not working. And the brain's not working because in large part we're eating a diet that's full of sugar and starch that causes insulin resistance in the brain. It creates a metabolic crisis in the brain, creates inflammation in the brain. And all these diseases are inflammatory diseases, even things that aren't like allergies and autoimmune disease. And we've seen allergy rates go up dramatically in kids. And we've seen all these problems, and we're spending more and more on all these drugs. We're spending more and more. Like we've seen a 400% increase in the use of diabetes drugs, a 300% increase in the use of cardiovascular drugs. We've seen a 400% use of psychiatric drugs increase. We've seen increase in cancer therapies and 500% increase in the use of autoimmune drugs. And respiratory drugs, 200%, pain drugs, 400%, GI drugs, 300% increase. So we're pouring more and more drugs on everybody. We're getting sicker and sicker. We're spending more and more money. It's $1 to $5 in our economy.
Wow.
And nobody's asking why.